It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's a geek.
Before we start, I have a couple things I want to talk about today. Before I get to the intro, about my video that I posted a few days ago. A lot of people seem to be misunderstood what I was trying to say. The video wasn't me explicitly talking about the Drake beef. I used it to kind of signify, or it was the catalyst for why I wanted to have the conversation. The video was about me being black, but not being considered black by my peers because I liked anime. When I was in school by younger people. I had this one comment, I was talking about something about, oh, well, we're going through an ethnic diss of Palestine and we're doing this. You're talking about black people. Are you seriously saying white people don't overshadow white people? By the comments I was getting, you could clearly tell who watched the whole video and who didn't watch any of it. And by that comment, she literally said she watched 2 minutes and 30 seconds, which is why she left a stupidity comment, as she said. Another thing that was getting a lot of criticism. My whole thing was, you can't just look at culture to say if someone is black or not. Because if you have a white person that grew up in black culture, black people will still say that dude isn't cultured. Oh, you shouldn't be listening to rap because that's not your culture. You're not black. Even though they grew up listening to hip hop. So y'all can't just say that being black is just culture. That was my whole point of that video. Because that's a stupid take. That's stupid, it's idiotic. Being black is yes, you have black culture, whatever y'all want that to be, but black is the color of your skin. It's genetics. If you at least 50% black, you're black. Alright, if you at least 50%. I saw someone say, oh, if you're not 50%, you're just biracial. You can be black and white. You're still black, you're still white. Trying to say someone is biracial and using it as a way to say someone's not black is stupid too. Because technically everybody's biracial. As my dad pointed out in one of the comments he made, everybody's mixed with something. But anyway, so today I have two things I want to talk about. The first being Deadpool and the second being David Corenswet's suit. We just got a new picture reveal. We'll talk about that later. But to start, and I'll have timestamps in the video. I'll make sure I put them in there. But to start, apparently a new thing came out presented by Marvel that Deadpool and Wolverine will basically be going back and rewriting our MCU timeline as we know it. Meaning phase 1, 2, 3, and 4. They could go back and change some stuff or implement themselves into certain scenes. I was watching Cosmic Wonder, and he was saying stuff about Infinity War and Deadpool can make it to where he did the snap and not Iron Man. And I'm thinking to myself, yes, this sounds cool, but does this not make everything more complicated? Because, okay, let's say Deadpool does the snap and not Tony Stark. Is that how they're going to try to bring Tony Stark back? You know, so I feel like, yes, it'll be cool to do stuff like that with Deadpool, but with that, it needs to be small stuff. It can't be major scale stuff like Infinity War or Endgame or major event movies. I feel like that's a little too much. I hope Marvel picks and choose where they try to go with that, because they can get to a point where it's like nothing before happened or nothing before counts, because it can always be something that could come back and like just restructure and change everything. Hold on, y'all. Let me get my camera right. So, how do y'all feel about that? I really just feel like this movie is going to be something where obviously you're not going to take it as serious because it's Deadpool, but y'all remember, the serious aspects is what everybody's been crying about when it comes to Marvel. But as y'all will see in a couple months, it only applies to certain franchises. Or certain IPs. If you want your movie to be serious, or you want your Marvel to be serious, it needs to be serious throughout. It can't just be one movie here and one movie there. Just like Guardians of the Galaxy 3. The whole Guardians of the Galaxy franchise, to me, is very unfunny. But it's known to a lot of people as being one of the funniest and best trilogies in Marvel, or best superhero trilogies. Which is also a stupid take, and I have videos on that too. We have to get to a point where it's like, do we want it to be serious or do we not want it to be serious? And having Deadpool just basically scramble through the timeline and change whatever you want to doesn't sit well with me. Because for certain moments that are very, very impactful, as the snap, it'll make it to where it's like, dang, now it doesn't feel as sacred anymore. Same thing as if Marvel just brought back Tony Stark. It wouldn't feel as cool anymore if you just brought him back. I feel like with that, man, they need to leave that where it's at. You can have your cameos, but don't just change anything major. And even then, I don't even know how I feel about the galore of cameos either, if I'm being honest with you. Because like I said, our fan base is really, really weird. Because some stuff is cool and some stuff is not. Y'all remember when No Way Home came out? Multiverse of Madness came out? Everybody was shouting of joy when those movies came out. The first week, everything was cool. Oh, you know, we had Toby and Andrew come back for No Way Home. Oh, we had John Krasinski and we had this person and we had that person for Multiverse of Madness. A month after the movie release, everybody's talking about how No Way Home wasn't a good movie. It was just a movie that was held up by cameos. Same thing for Doctor Strange. And from what I'm hearing, this is going to be like this is going to be No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness combined times 10. Hear what I say? This is going to be like No Way Home, Multiverse of Madness combined times 10. From what I'm reading and from what I'm hearing. So I just want y'all to keep that same energy. Just like I want y'all to keep that same energy when y'all was complaining about She-Hulk and the fourth wall breaks. Keep that same energy with Deadpool make stupid jokes with his fourth wall breaks. That's how I feel about it. I was also, and before y'all, Deadpool and Wolverine, you're gonna hate the movie. No. That's not how I'm looking at this at all. As far as I know, before everything really started getting released and all with stuff with the cameos and things like that, I was one of the only people, as far as I know, that was saying this movie could make over $1 billion. This movie could make over $1 billion. I don't see why I couldn't. And I was one of the first people to say that. And I don't feel like it's gonna make over $1 billion just because of the cameos. Will it help? Yeah. Is Hugh Jackman coming back is gonna help? Of course it will. Is us potentially seeing a lot of people that we haven't seen in different universes in years, is that gonna help? Of course it will. But at the same time, I think it still will be a good story. I just hope they don't get too carried away. So, what do y'all think? What are y'all thoughts on Deadpool and Wolverine? Do y'all think Marvel should go back and rewrite stuff? And that's one more thing before I get to Superman. One more thing. It'll be different if Marvel wasn't, and this is Marvel's words, that they will rewrite stuff that we've seen before. Rewriting is taking what we've seen and just covering it up with something new. But it'll be different if all this stuff will just create branch timelines. And we already know the TVA will be involved in this movie. So maybe Marvel was just weird in that wording. Maybe them going to do stuff. We'll still have our timeline where Tony Stark snapped, but now Deadpool came back. He created an alternate universe where Deadpool snapped. If that's how they go with that, that's perfectly fine. But at the same time, we don't really have a really straight line of how time travel works. Because if you remember in Endgame, they were going back and basically rewriting stuff. They weren't really creating alternate timelines, I don't think, in Endgame. And then we get to Loki, and now we're saying, okay, we have variants, we have this, we have that. When you go back, you create a branch timeline. And then we have at the end of Loki, where apparently everything was supposed to be, everything ended up being a whole bunch of branches. So the timeline thing right now is at a very, very, very weird time. Hopefully Deadpool and Wolverine can loosen up or make it more appealing. Because I know if I'm confused, a lot of people that are with the casual audience will be confused as well. So, like I said, this will be the opportunity for the TVA to come in and just reiterate the time rules and make it seem like, it makes more sense. On to the Superman suit. Now, the Superman suit is getting a lot of traction right now. A lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, are saying they're not really feeling it. You have some people who are saying it's cool. I think what people aren't failing to realize, what is that in that background? Well, I'm pretty sure everybody's noticed it. What is that in that background? I'm still not sure as to where they're going with this movie. I'm gonna be completely honest. The first thing I thought of, looking at those colors, was Brainiac. If I remember correctly, it's Brainiac that Superman goes against, the little green alien dude. That's the first thing I thought of. I could be wrong. I'm not the biggest DC head, but the suit to me, it looks very, very low budget. It looks weak. It looks fragile. It looks like something you can just, it looks like it'll just rip apart, which is kind of weird because you have a superhero like Superman, arguably one of the most powerful superheroes ever to ever exist, and he's kind of going around that soft looking fabric. It's kind of weird. I think though, if they are going the route where Superman is young, he's just starting out, I feel like that suit is perfect to be a year 1 suit or a year 2 suit or whatever it may be. I feel like that's a decent suit for that. But a lot of people obviously are going to compare it to Henry Cavill's suit. Now, visually, I feel like I might like Cavill's suit better. Cavill's suit looks like if you touch it, pause, and feel it, pause again, it looks like you can feel it. Yeah, I said the same thing twice. It looks like you can touch it. It looks like you can, it has texture to it. That's what I'm trying to say. But this one, it looks kind of cheap, man. It doesn't look good. I think that one of the main gripes I had with Cavill's suit was that it was dull. If Corenswet suits look similar to Cavill's in texture wise, but was a lot more vibrant, it'll look perfect to me. He also does have the trunks. If anybody has noticed, he has the trunks. So that is confirmed. Cavill will be having the trunks. I think that is something we haven't had in a long time. A lot of people said that it was outdated. It'll be funny to see how they kind of mention that in the movie. So I'm looking forward to it. I want to see what happens, where they will go for the movie next year. And yeah, we can compare it to other suits. I feel like it's not the worst out of the other Superman suits. Cavill's might be the best. If you look at the OG Superman with y'all know what I'm talking about. I'll put a picture up. It looks better than the OG ones. And that's mainly because those Superman movies were made in like the 70s and 80s and 90s or whatever. So, and they were low budget. So yeah, that I feel like the suit isn't that bad, but it's not really what we expected. So I'm hoping maybe when we get to the movie, they do some After Effects, CGI, make it look a little more visually appealing. Because right now, it looks like they just took a picture of Corenswet. It doesn't have any additives on it, if you will. So, what are y'all thoughts on Corenswet's suit? What are y'all thoughts on him being Superman? A lot of people are still saying they want Cavill back. I was one of those people that was like, yeah, Cavill can be gone. He wasn't that interesting as Superman to me. I'm interested to see what David Corenswet will do. That's all I got for y'all. A little short video, just get some stuff off my chest about Deadpool and Superman. But if you love the video, like the video. If you don't love the video, dislike the video. I'm on the road to 300 subscribers. Check out my other video I posted about me being black. And yeah, I'm out. Peace.
Shawty in love with the geek. Shawty in love with the geek. Popping them motherfucking pills. Shawty in love with the geek. Popping them motherfucking pills.